welcome back to Learning Curves. I'm Anastasia, and today I want to talk to you about NoMovember. Is a thing I made up that's cheesy because most of the things I make up are cheesy. This is completely unrelated to Movember, which is an annual event in November where men grow mustaches, you may have noticed, or beards, facial hair, and it helps raise awareness around men's health issues, which I very much support Movember. This, again, is not anti-Movember. This is more related to no mo, as in no more, as in get rid of, as in declutter. This is the third theme month I've done in a row. I started with Self-tember, and now I'm in ACTober. And now I'm moving on to a third cheesy themed month, NoMovember. I've really enjoyed Self-tember and ACTober. I'll link those videos in the description box. The video introducing Self-tember, the video where I shared my findings from Self-tember, and the video about ACTober. So I've had goals, right? I've got goals. And having these trackers and these themes has really helped me focus on stuff. I'll let you watch the results videos, the one about Self-tember, and then I'll be making one about ACTober in another week or two. Suffice it to say, I've been really enjoying these journeys. They've been really helpful for me. So I'm doing another one now called NoMovember. So as we're approaching / in the holiday season, I know these are always times of abundance, especially when you think about Christmas. If you participate, there are often gifts and stuff. There's just stuff. And it's interesting. Self-tember was about decluttering, and to oversimplify, and ACTober was about more actions, doing more activities, which has actually helped also kind of declutter. We'll talk about that in the ACTober after video. But so knowing that December is about to be revelrous again, I want to really focus this month on removing things. The decluttering I did in Self-tember was sort of more abstract decluttering. Here I'm talking about literal decluttering. A lot of times when I look around my space and I feel dissatisfied with it, I think, maybe if I buy a throw blanket or a throw pillow, that will make me feel better about it. Or a plant. These are the newest ones. I'm like, they clean air, they do something. However, I have found that I am not able to enjoy the new things that I like that I add to my space because they're still overshadowed by all of the other things that are currently in my space that I don't enjoy. I mean, this is a whole like clutter conversation, but I've had a hard time getting rid of things because I'm like, well, but I need a blanket. I get cold, so I need a blanket. I don't want to get rid of this perfectly good blanket just because it's not as cute. And what if this one gets dirty? I got 2 babies and a dog. Things are gonna get dirty, and also myself a mess. But I have been having some sort of strict pre-conversations with myself, and I mean, this is like not news to a lot of people. If you've watched any videos on minimalism or on people who have done significant decluttering, I'm not able to enjoy the things that I have that I like because the things I have that I don't like are in the way. The silent to-do list. Have you heard of this? Like, all of the things in your home are asking you for something. You know, this plant is asking for water. I mean, not right now. She's fine. She's not that thirsty. She's good. Every item in your home is sending out a message. It's either saying, I'm here for you to use, or I'm here for you to dust, or I need to be folded, or I need to be washed. They're just all saying something. And when they're all items that you have voluntarily invited into your space, they're things that you want in your space, that if you were making the guest list for your home, they would make it on that list. Great. But when they're things that you don't want, when they are things that are just that need to go away, that need to be put away, that need to be given away, that need to be sold, they are a lot. So I briefly mentioned one of the things that I've been loving about these themed months is the trackers that I've been making. I really enjoy coloring them. Rainbow, fall, and this one will be no different. I will have color-inable icons. Over the last couple of months, I've been hearing these messages from the things in my home that would not make it on a fresh guest list, and I've been excited to evict them. I've also learned about some opportunities for things that could find new positive homes, because that's another thing is when I think about getting rid of stuff, you know, I used to be okay with just putting it in a donate bin and bye, not my problem, or wish cycling as they say. But now that I know enough things about recycling, I know what can and can't be recycled to a certain extent. and you can't just dump a bunch of stuff in a donate bin and know that it's going to a better home. You're just delaying the landfillness of it. But I found some better solutions for some things that have made me almost excited about rehoming some of these things. So I'm gonna go through the list of a few categories that I have named for myself that I am hoping to go through in the month of November. And as with Self-tember and ACTober, this is not a you have to do all of these things. It's just something to aim for. It's giving me some goals so that I'm not thinking, oh, I need to get rid of stuff. Well, I can't think of anything to get rid of. I have definite categories that I can go through, and for some of these, they are sort of like grab the thing in this category, but for some of them, I'm gonna just go in a room with a box and put some things in it and be done with it. I don't know, this might be one where it's better to watch the after video and then do this for yourself so that you can learn from all the things I'm gonna have to figure out as I'm doing it. But let's go through the categories I've made for myself, and we can talk about what I'm planning to give where and why I'm excited about it. And also how you can help me, because there are some things I think you might know more about than I do. So the first one is bedding. I had a full bed when I lived in Los Angeles, and for some reason I couldn't get rid of my full sheet sets, but they don't fit our queen bed in our guest room, they don't fit the king bed that we sleep on, and they don't fit my daughter's twin bed or the crib. So why am I hanging on to these? Apparently you can't sell bedding. Like if you go to Goodwill or you go to St. Vincent de Paul or something, you will see bedding in brand new packaging. However, animal shelters will accept bedding. I'm planning on donating our bedding to the Humane Society, where we got our dog Bubba. Similarly, towels. Towels you can sell secondhand, but I'm going to also be donating mine to the Humane Society. Magazines. I get Good Housekeeping. I'm not sure when I somehow signed up for this, and when I have time, I do like looking through it and feeling the season. It's sort of like its own immersive experience. However, I don't have time for that, and I pretty much never do that. So I collect them in the hopes that someday I'll have like a day and a half to go through a year of Good Housekeeping magazines? What do I think is good? No, I'm hoping to donate those magazines. I'm gonna look on Facebook Marketplace and see if people sell them on there. I know sometimes you can donate them to libraries, but I think like everybody has Good Housekeeping magazines. Maybe there's some serial killer who needs them for their notes. So if you know of anyone or anywhere that could use like a year plus worth of Good Housekeeping magazines, please let me know. My husband and I would both appreciate it. Next up, craft supplies. This one I didn't actually think was gonna make this list, and it wasn't until I watched Cass, the ClutterBug, when I watched her video on things that feel good to declutter. One of the things she included in there was craft supplies. She talked about having worked at, I'm not sure if it was a senior center or a nursing home or retirement center, but she worked somewhere with elderly people who enjoyed crafting, and she talked about how having those supplies that may have not been in their fixed income budget or no income budget was such a gift. And I know that I'm going to be in that place at some point where I don't have money for yarn and I want to crochet with my arthritic hands. But right now I have so much for projects that I'm never going to get to. I'm gonna keep a little bit, but I'm ready to donate a lot of that. So I'm gonna look into where I can donate some craft supplies. If you know of anywhere that I can donate craft supplies in the St. Louis area, please let me know. Next up are clothes. My body has changed somewhat in the last couple of years. I've had 2 kids in 3.5 years, and I don't know if I'm finished having babies. If you ask my husband, I am. If you ask me, there's a good chance my body will change some more one way or another. And do you ever do this where the season changes and you look in your closet and you're like, what the hell did I wear last fall? Like, I have 1 outfit or 2. Like, how did I get through an entire season with this wardrobe? I feel that way every time I get into a new season. Now that we're getting into fall and cooler weather, I have a lot of clothes that are no longer my tastes or aren't really appropriate for my lifestyle now that I'm largely working from home and don't need as much business clothes from the waist down. And a large part of what I intend to declutter are my shoes. I don't need these one-off random shoes. I didn't even wear them when we were going out in the world regularly. No. And then everything else I have on this list has to do with babies and postpartum. Again, I don't know if I'm finished having babies, but I did have a baby a year ago, and now that I have a 1-year-old, it's still fresh in my mind what I did and didn't use for myself during pregnancy and postpartum and for my baby in that first year. So even if I am going to have a baby again, I know there are certain things that I didn't use and I likely won't use that I want to rehome to someone who will use them, because maternity stuff and baby stuff is super expensive. So for those, I'll be reaching out to one of my doulas or my midwife for their recommendations for where I can donate these goods. And those categories I've broken down because there's so much into maternity and postpartum goods for me, for mama, baby toys, baby books, and I just have newborn stuff. And the reason I'm vague here is because we have a large set of cloth diapers. Cloth diapers are expensive, and I really wanted a cloth diaper both our babies, and that was something that it was like, do you want a cloth diaper or do you want to stay married? And I chose staying married. I'm just not ready to rehome them yet. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. So I got to figure that out. But I just have newborn stuff because there were a lot of blankets and headbands and accessories that, because we had so many, the ones that I really enjoyed got lost in the shuffle. So I want to rehome the headbands that I know we won't use again, even if we have a girl, or the receiving blankets that, again, I know we won't use, and just really pare down to the things that we are likely to use so that I can have only those and focus on those and celebrate those and use those and find those and have those and love those and live those and laugh those. So after that, I have some empty boxes on here. Those are to represent any categories I might come across as I'm decluttering that I also want to declutter. And last but not least, I have spaces for some things that I intend to sell. In my preparation for this journey, I've been watching a few other videos about decluttering and some recommendations there. And one of the recommendations from, I don't remember her name, but I'm sure you've seen her videos if you ever search minimalism. I'll link her below. But she says to give yourself a time limit for selling things. So I think that I'm going to give myself until the new year to sell anything that I collect this month. If it doesn't sell by New Year's, then I will donate it with probably a bunch of toys after we get an influx of a bunch of toys for Christmas. That's it. That's what I'm doing for NoMovember. If you'd like to join, there's a link to the tracker in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like this video and please subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye. One time when we were in like high school, baby sister and I, we were on a vacation and we were standing in the ocean and baby sister was standing next to me. We were looking out over the horizon and she was like, Stacia, don't be rude. Wave back at the ocean. Because it was, I thought it was funny.